Okay, let me just finish this up and I'll just take a couple of more minutes. So Vygotsky and schools. So let's remember the three areas that Vygotsky emphasizes. He emphasizes social learning. So this is very, very important. This idea that children work best and learn best when they learn collaboratively, when they do group work. That's how we learn. And think about this. This has really changed from from even in the 60s in 70s when we were taught we did individual work and there wasn't a lot of group work. There was the start of it, but it really doesn't happen until later on, with the push when Vygotsky really begins to influence this idea of constructivism, which we'll talk about next. And but we do get this. He we do get this development of Vygotsky's thought and Vygotsky's theory in the classroom of collaborative learning and really having children work together and having teachers teach not only the whole classroom but small groups as well. Vygotsky presents to us this idea of the zone of proximal development and using scaffolding techniques to support our students. So that might be working one-on-one, pairing students up, giving students differentiated work that addresses their levels of learning, assessing where students are. So when you see something like a KWL chart, what do you know? What do you want to know? What have we learned? When we're reflecting on our learning like that, those are all scaffolding tools. And finally, what Vygotsky does is he pushes for authentic learning. And this is learning that is learned in context. You learn how to be a teacher in your 40 hours in the classroom. It teaches you a lot more than what I teach you in the classroom, I think. And that is very, very important. You really learn how to be a teacher when you get your extended time in a classroom in the block, but really, really it happens in student teaching and then in your first years of teaching. That's how we learn. We learn through experience. And Vygotsky was the first theoretician to say that this is how we need to structure our school systems. So even though other researchers may have said, yeah, we think that people do learn well by doing, they did not structure school systems that way, and that's the difference that comes from Vygotsky. Now, Vygotsky also talks briefly about motivation, though his research on that is not quite as extensive. But one of the things he says is that we can't get children to be motivated intrinsically to learn without creating a culture of learning, so that our classrooms need to reflect an engaging and positive outlook on the learning experience. So this idea that that the space is welcoming, that we have communities where learning is valued, this will increase children's learning. And then finally, my last slide, just are two quotes from Vygotsky. What a child can do in cooperation today, he can do alone tomorrow. So moving from what the child can't do, think about that zone of proximal development model. Think about that bullseye and getting them to that unaided spot. And that's our job as teachers, right? And it is through others that we become ourselves. And Vygotsky says that we can't really learn about ourselves and learn what we're capable of without the support and the nurturing of others. So, now that you have heard my whole talk on Vygotsky, I'm going to ask you to go to Blackboard and to download the assignment where you show your own zone of proximal development, sharing with me an example of your own learning experience where you can reflect on the scaffolding that occurred to get you to a spot where you feel you are capable of doing a particular action or learning expression on your own. So, I'll talk with you soon.